turning down the dial before heading home. Radio fading with the air, night settling in the field. Last voice flashing through the wire, then it's gone. Years go just about the same. Small days without a name, carried on the air. Here and there, let that little station run through the middle of the sun. Hands resting on the radio, time standing still. I keep circling the same quiet corner where the street light hums but it don't get warmer. Every shadow stretching just a little too long, like it's holding on to something already gone. There's a rhythm in the way I hesitate. Half a second always showing up too late, and the pavement knows the weight of my shoes. Every step just sending deja vu. Something shifts but it don't reveal, like a thought I almost feel. Try to catch it, let it speak, but it fades before it peaks. I go back again, same direction, no clear sign, just reflection. Every turn feels prearranged. Nothing moves but it rearranges. There's a voice in the passing cars at night, low and distant, never landing right. And the windows flicker stories I don't read, just fragments of a life I didn't need. Till I pause like I'm waiting on a cue, but the script don't change, it just loops through. And the silence got a weight of its own, like it follows me wherever I roam. Something calls but it don't insist, like a name but I somehow missed. I get close but it pulls away, leaves me right where I started. Same, I go back again, same direction, no clear sign, just reflection. Every turn feels prearranged. Nothing moves but it rearranges. Morning dries but it don't arrive, still feel stuck in a slower tide. Every motion already known, like I'm walked into a barrel zone. And the pattern never really breaks, just bends a little with each mistake, till I'm caught in a quiet design, tracing circles I call. Something is, but it won't conclude. Just resets in a different mood. I let go, but it pulls me through. Same old line with a different view. Same direction, every turn feels prearranged. Nothing moves, but it rearranges. Afternoon leans on the edge of a worn-out table. Light gathers slowly like it forgot where to go. Dust in the air turns soft, almost stable, to shimmer like something it doesn't yet know. A cup left warm holds a trace of a moment, not in its shape, but the way it remains. Time folds gently into each small component. Nothing is lost, it just loosens its name. What we carry dissolves into air, not disappearing, just thinning out there. Every silence becomes something shared without asking to be repaired. Where the dust begins to glow, there's a truth I never told, not in words I used to know, but in what I let unfold. Curtains breathe with a slow hesitation, like they remember a voice from before. Shadows stretch without destination, tracing the outline of something no more. Every object becomes a reflection of time that no longer insists on a claim. But nothing is held in perfect direction, still it returns without asking a name. All the edges soften their light. What was yours and what was mine goes into a quiet design, left without a need to define. Where the dust begins to glow, there's a place I've come to know, not ahead and not below. Ooh, just a space, I let it flow. Space, I let it flow. Healing settles into the grain of the floor like a story absorbed but never retold. Light disappears, but it's not like before. It lingers in textures too quiet to hold. Hands rest easy without expectation. Nothing to gather, nothing to keep. Time is no longer a measured duration, just something that hums underneath. What remains is a delicate trace, not in memory, not in place, but in how it leaves the space. Soft enough to still embrace, where the dust begins to glow. There's a truth I finally know, not in things I tried to hold, but in what I let go. Porch light trembling on the river bend, night unfolding like a velvet letter. Wind turns pages of the sleeping town, slow as a painter rinsing color. Your voice drifts over the railing, soft as dust inside a sunbeam. And the dog listens patiently, like a garden waiting for rain. Two shadows leaning together, balanced on a quiet hour. Time hanging in the air, like fruit on a summer branch. Porch light glowing on the water, golden circles drifting slow. Every glance becomes a lantern in a place only we know. The river bends like a sleepy question, carrying whispers through the reeds. Stars scatter salt across the darkness, tiny promises in the deep. Your laughter moves through the evening, like wind across tall weeds. And the silence folds around it, gentle as linen sheets. Two shadows leaning together, balanced on a quiet hour. Time hanging in the air, like fruit on a summer branch. Porch light glowing on the water, golden circles drifting slow. Every glance becomes a lantern in a page only we know. On and waiting behind the hills, quiet as a held breath, but the night still blooms between us. Soft and luminous, your eyes carry distant weather, calm after wandering storms. And the world feels briefly simple as a field of blowing corn. Two shadows
Iran already had to deal with 2 Marine expeditionary units heading toward its territory. Now, the US is about to do something historic. A powerful force is heading to the Strait of Hormuz, and it will change the way the strait is run forever. Elite paratroopers are en route. They're preparing to dominate Hormuz. Iran isn't ready for what's coming. The US is moving up a gear in Operation Epic Fury. Following weeks of speculation about their deployment, the 82nd Airborne Division is being deployed to the Middle East. The Pentagon announced the news on March 24th, and it amounts to the US sending over 2,000 of its most elite paratroopers into the war zone that has been created in Iran. This is a huge escalation by the US, and it's another hint that the US may be drawing closer than ever to putting boots on the ground, perhaps on Karg Island as a means of reopening the Strait of Hormuz. The Washington Post reports that US officials have approved written orders for the deployment, which have been sent to the 82nd Airborne Division's Fort Bragg headquarters, along with being sent to soldiers who are part of the unit's 1st Brigade combat team. This came in the wake of verbal orders having already been delivered. 2 sources close to the situation have told the outlet. Many of the soldiers who have received the orders are part of the 82nd Airborne Division's immediate response force, and it's here that we start seeing all of this get very serious. Why? Well, the clue is in the name, as the immediate response force has been created specifically to deploy within 18 hours of notice, and it's versatile enough to handle almost any ground-based operation handed to it. Taking airfields, such as the one on Karg Island, is among the force's many remits, as is seizing critical infrastructure, such as the oil pipelines and terminals that are on that very island. Task and Purpose offers more information about the 82nd's Immediate Response Force, noting that the members of that force change every 6 months, as the responsibility switches between a trio of brigades. Upon being designated as IRF-1, that brigade's responsibility for half a year is to be the readiest of the 3 to be deployed. The structuring goes even deeper than that, as within the selected brigade are a battalion and a company dubbed IRB-1 and IRC-1 respectively, who will be the front-runners for deployment at a unit level. What we see here is that the US has created a force that is purpose-built to respond to emerging crises. What's happening in the Strait of Hormuz right now is nothing if not a crisis, especially as Iran's blockade of the strait has led to oil and gas price chaos. Pressure is being placed on the US by its international partners, along with non-partners who are being affected by the issues in the strait, and the deployment of the 82nd Airborne Division may be America's answer in terms of how it's going to relieve that pressure. Karg Island will likely be the key. But what the US may have planned there could end up being an escalation too far in Operation Epic Fury. As for the 82nd, speculation has been rife for weeks that something like this is about to happen. On March 6th, the Washington Post reported that a big change of plans led to rumblings that the division was about to head out to Iran. Members of the 82nd Airborne Division had been scheduled to take part in a major training operation, only to have those plans be abruptly cancelled, leading to elite paratroopers being told to stay put in North Carolina rather than joining their colleagues in Fort Polk, Louisiana for the exercise. The Pentagon was cagey at the time. All it told reporters was, "Due to operation security, we do not discuss future or hypothetical movements." Now we know why the training was cancelled. The US had already been mulling options up to and including putting boots on the ground following the devastation of Iran's military infrastructure during the opening days of Operation Epic Fury and Operation Roaring Lion. With the Strait of Hormuz becoming a major problem for the US on the global geopolitical level, what started as a training cancellation has moved to full-on deployment. We still don't know what the 82nd will do once it arrives in the Persian Gulf region, but the odds are that a ground assault on Karg Island is high on the agenda. That's one option at least, but it seems increasingly likely that the US views occupying Karg Island as the key to taking control over the Strait of Hormuz problem. The 82nd has the ability to threaten targets in the Gulf region without having to directly transit the dangerous strait. Axios reports US Marine Colonel Mark Kansian, who is now a senior advisor with the Center for Strategic and International Studies International Security Program, as stating, Karg Island falls into that remit, as the 7.7 square mile island is located to the northwest of the strategically vital strait, making it far enough away for the 82nd to avoid the strait entirely, though close enough and, as you'll soon find out, important enough to make capturing the island worthwhile for the US when it comes to reopening the strait. Karg Island is vital for Iran. Lying just 20 miles off the country's coast, the small island has a population of just 20,000 people, and most of those people are oil workers. That highlights what makes this island so vital for Iran, as those oil workers oversee a terminal that is the main point of departure for 90% of the oil that Iran sells to other nations. That oil is the Iranian regime's economic lifeline. In 2024, which is the most recent year for which we have concrete figures, Iran generated $43 billion from its oil sales, which was a $1 billion increase over the previous year. But the really important piece of the puzzle here, according to GIS reports, is that $43 billion accounted for 57% of Iran's total export revenue in 2024. So with 90% of Iran's oil moving through Karg Island before it can be sold, it's clear that the island is a major vulnerability for the regime. The logic here is obvious. Take Karg and the US strips away more than half of Iran's export revenue, which would in turn cripple its economy. By sending the 82nd Airborne Division to the Persian Gulf, the US seems to be laying the groundwork for an occupation that has been rumored ever since airstrikes tore through Karg Island's military infrastructure on March 13th. But behind the bravado lurks some big issues if the plan is to have the 82nd Airborne attempt to take Karg Island. Those problems could change everything. But before we dive deeper into what they are, this is a quick reminder that you are watching The Military Show. If you're getting value from the channel, remember to hit subscribe so you never miss any of our analysis. Now, as impressive as the 82nd Airborne Division and its immediate response force undoubtedly are, especially in terms of their speed of deployment, the division isn't exactly set up for something like taking a piece of territory like Karg Island. At least that's according to Kansian, who tells Axios that the division is classified as light infantry, which means that it would be vulnerable while landing and if attacked by armor. adding that there is a lack of nearby support for the division, Kansian adds, which seems to reference the fact that Iran and its missile launch sites are a lot closer to Karg Island than any friendly US bases, and it's clear that America's plan for applying pressure to Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz is more complicated than it first appears. The US has taken steps to overcome the armor challenge at least. We mentioned earlier that airstrikes against Karg Island's military infrastructure have already taken place. Presumably, that involved the destruction of the island's armor units, though it's also worth noting that these initial strikes took place about 2 weeks ago, at the time of this video's publication. Could Iran have moved more armor onto the island by now? It's possible, and that's a challenge for the US. Another counter to the argument that the 82nd Airborne Division won't be able to take Karg Island is that it's not the only unit that's heading into the Persian Gulf. Ahead of the announcement of the 82nd's deployment, the US has already sent a pair of Marine Expeditionary Units, or MEUs, in Iran's direction. The USS Tripoli Amphibious Ready Group, which includes 3 warships and 4,500 personnel, including the 31st MEU and its 2,200 members, is already en route from Okinawa, Japan. They're being joined by the 11th MEU, which has embarked from San Diego with the USS Boxer Amphibious Ready Group. That MEU has a similar number of members, so what we're seeing here is that the US is actually deploying several more thousand soldiers to the Persian Gulf than the unleashing of the 82nd Airborne would suggest. The involvement of the MEUs would change everything about a Karg Island takeover. These are amphibious assault groups that exist to overcome the types of challenges that Kansian says the 82nd will face if it attempts to take Karg Island alone. Time magazine notes that MEUs are also often the first ground forces to arrive at the scene of a conflict, and they combine hundreds of infantry troops with armored vehicles, helicopters, fighter jets, and artillery. Practically everything that could be needed to tackle an armored response on Karg Island by Iran. MEUs are contained forces designed to handle almost any situation, and the US is sending 2 of them to Iran, along with the 82nd Airborne Division. What we may be seeing here is the US attempting to counter for another of the challenges that comes with putting boots on the ground on Karg Island, which is that it's not necessarily taking the island that will be the problem. Behind that challenge lies the far bigger issue of holding Karg for as long as is needed to put pressure on Iran in the Strait of Hormuz. As huge a bargaining chip as taking Karg Island would deliver to the US for the Strait of Hormuz crisis, Iran has potential responses to US plans. One of those responses could be to slice off its collective nose to spite its face. In other words, Iran could emulate the acts of Saddam Hussein in the Kuwaiti oil fields during the Gulf War and simply burn the Karg Island oil facilities to the ground before the US gets its hands on them. That would take away the bargaining chip and give the US forces a massive fire to deal with from which they can't easily move upwind, especially if Iran times the destruction so that it occurs after America's forces have occupied. However, it would also mean that Iran destroys oil facilities that could take years for it to rebuild, which plunges the country into a multi-year economic crisis, no matter the outcome of Operation Epic Fury. That would be Iran's nuclear option. Another is to take advantage of the fact that Karg is close to the Iranian coast and about 140 miles away from the nearest US assets in Kuwait City. Resupplying the 82nd and the 2 MEUs tasked with taking Karg Island would be a challenge for the US, as would the fact that units stationed on the island become sitting ducks for Iran's missiles. Yes, Iran has lost most of its missile launch sites, roughly 75% of them as of March 5th, but it still has isolated and mobile launchers that it can roll out, use to fire missiles, and then send back into hiding. Karg Island is small enough that even a handful of strikes could be enough to devastate US troops, especially if there are hitches in setting up their defenses. These are all challenges that the US can overcome. The MEUs en route to the Gulf region still haven't arrived, and the 82nd Airborne Division is behind them. If Karg Island is the goal, the US is building up an appropriately sized force for taking and holding the island. It's likely that air defenses are being prepared, perhaps in Kuwait City, to send into Karg Island immediately after the occupation too. And US aerial assets continue to patrol the Iranian coastline. Missile launch sites are being destroyed, which helps to mitigate the sitting duck challenge. Still, the question has to be asked, is it really worth sending the 82nd Airborne and 2 MEUs into Karg Island? To the US, the answer is likely a resounding yes, though there is also another reason why all of this ground power could be heading to Iran. Before we explain what that is, the Karg Island occupation would be all about reopening the Strait of Hormuz. We've already told you that the island will be a major bargaining chip, and it's one that the US will be delighted to be able to play, given what's happening in the strait right now. This single waterway has mostly been blocked off by Iran since the start of Operation Epic Fury, which is an issue, given that 20% of the world's oil and liquefied natural gas passes through the strait. Iran has been playing the one major card that it has well, and we've seen the results over the past few weeks. According to Hellenic Shipping News, Fewer than 100 merchant ships have managed to sail through the strait between the beginning of March and March 23rd. For context, almost 140 ships sailed through the Strait of Hormuz daily before Operation Epic Fury began. Now the average is down to 5 or 6, and most of those are sailing under Iran's flag or are linked to Tehran's regime. Iran has also started to look at the Strait of Hormuz situation as a way to pull in a little extra money. In a March 24th report, The Telegraph said that Iran has created regime-approved routes through the Strait of Hormuz that just happen to funnel ships into what amounts to a waterborne toll booth system. Fees for safe transit climb as high as $2 million, the outlet reports. Iran might claim that means it has reopened the strait. The US and likely the rest of the world would counter by pointing out these fees are so ludicrously high that they're clearly designed to prevent all but the most desperate merchant ships from passing through. It wouldn't be accurate to claim that taking Karg Island would outright solve the Strait of Hormuz problem, but it would help. The billions that the US could take out of Iran's economy by controlling that island's oil infrastructure using its MEUs and the 82nd Airborne would create more pressure on the Iranian regime. That pressure would mount on top of the economic concerns that have led the regime to the position that it finds itself in right now. The US could offer access to Karg in exchange for reopening the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran would have to seriously consider that offer. But so far, we've looked at the boots-on-the-ground option. There is another. As Time reports, the US claims that ceasefire talks between the US and Iran have tentatively started. Well, maybe. There's a lot of confusion about those talks right now. According to US President Donald Trump, the talks are happening because Iran is completely desperate to make a deal following the destruction of so much of the regime's military infrastructure. On March 24th, Trump also declared that making sure that Iran has no nuclear weapons is a key American focus, and that the current regime has promised that it won't build any nukes. All of this is reportedly on top of a 15-point plan for a ceasefire that the US has created, which AP News says may include non-starter negotiation topics related to Iran's ballistic missile program and its support of regional militias and proxy groups. So progress, right? Not according to Iran. The Iranian military claimed on March 25th that the US is failing to achieve its goals and that it's essentially negotiating with itself. The spokesperson for the Unified Command of Iran's armed forces, Ebrahim Zolfikari, has said as much, declaring, "Has the level of your inner struggle reached the stage of you negotiating with yourself?" Before adding, "Don't call your failure an agreement." The BBC adds that many in Iran don't believe that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is willing to negotiate with the US, as it's too steadfast in its fundamentalist beliefs to allow even the destruction of huge swathes of its military infrastructure to sway them from its goals. It's difficult to untangle what's really going on when both sides are sending such different messages, and that may reveal the real reason why the 82nd Airborne Division is heading to the Persian Gulf. The occupation of Karg Island is still very much a possibility. But what we may be seeing right now is that Trump is buying time with his talks about negotiations, which he is using to purposefully create confusion in Iran. After all, Iran's regime is in a rough spot. Fracturing has clearly occurred after multiple levels of leadership were taken out, so communication within the regime may not be as on point as it needs to be. Maybe some in the regime are talking to the US while others think no negotiations are happening. Who knows? And that's the point. Trump may be playing into the situation while more US troops head toward Iran. As all of this is happening, the 82nd is sailing. It's going to be joined by 2 MEUs. Even if Karg Island isn't on the agenda, this represents the US sending a clear message to Iran's regime. If negotiations aren't actually happening, then they need to start soon. The US is showing Iran that it's ready for any eventuality up to and including putting boots on the ground, and it's strengthening that particular part of its posture in the Persian Gulf region by the day. Something historic may well be about to go down in Iran, and it's what Iran fears most. The US has batted the ball into the Iranian regime's court. How the regime responds will determine what happens next. If the US is planning to take Karg Island to force the loss of Iranian control in the Strait of Hormuz, it's setting up well for the possibility. Before announcing the deployment of the 82nd Airborne Division, the US unleashed massive bunker-busting.
We're starting To see something a little strange in California. As of right now, state polls show that to replace Gavin Newsom as governor in our jungle primary, the two leading contestants, Chad Bianco, a sheriff from Riverside County, and Steve Hilton, a former Fox commentator, entrepreneur, and naturalized U.S. citizen from Britain, are neck and neck. Hilton is at 17, Bianco is supposedly at 16, and then the next two candidates, 13 and 12, are Eric Swalwell, we know from the Fang Fang notorious incident, and then Kathleen Porter, we know from the incident.
Get out of my f***ing shop!
The Democrats, remember, made this system because it's such a blue state. They would just swarm the ballot with viable Democrats, and the contending Democrats would be the first and second candidate on the general election ballot, and there wouldn't be any Republicans at all. This has kind of backfired. Hello, this is Victor Davis Hanson. We're starting to see something a little strange in California. As of right now, state polls show that to replace Gavin Newsom as governor in our jungle primary, the two leading contestants, Chad Bianco, a sheriff from Riverside County, and Steve Hilton, a former Fox commentator, entrepreneur, and naturalized U.S. citizen from Britain, are neck and neck at 17 and 16. Hilton is at 17, Bianco is supposedly at 16, and then the next two candidates, 13 and 12, are Eric Swalwell, we know from the Fang Fang notorious incident, and then Kathleen Porter, we know from the incident where she was caught abusing one of her staffers and screaming and yelling while on tape. The Democrats, remember, made this system thinking that they would, because it's such a blue state, they would just swarm the ballot with viable Democrats, and the contending Democrats would be the first and second candidate on the general election ballot, and there wouldn't be any Republicans at all. This has kind of backfired. We don't know how long it's going to last. A lot of people think that the Democrats have so gerrymandered elections, local elections and statewide elections and federal elections, and there's such money on the Democratic side, and there's such, what we'll call it, balloting irregularities, and we have the highest number of illegal aliens, that it's impossible for these two candidates to win, either one of them. But the thing to remember is that they're leading. This is unheard of, and it's a direct response to whom? Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom, remember, was on the Board of Supervisors of San Francisco County. Then he was mayor of San Francisco. Then he was lieutenant governor of the state. And now he's been governor for 5 years. He's been in continuous public office for almost 30 years. No one in elected office is more responsible for what California is today, whether you believe it's great or awful. But whatever your opinion of the status of the state is, Gavin Newsom deserves the credit. So he wants to run for president, I guess, on the agenda that I want to do for the United States, what I did for California. That's going to be very hard, Gavin. We have the highest income taxes. We have among the highest sales taxes. We have the highest gas taxes. We have the greatest number of homeless people. One out of every three people who are admitted under any circumstances to a hospital have diabetes. 1 out of 3 people in the United States who are on public assistance are in California. We have the highest gasoline taxes. We're in the bottom 10% of schools based on scores. San Francisco recently had the highest property crime rates per capita in the nation. It's not safe in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Fresno, Sacramento, Oakland, all of these major cities. More importantly, there's been a lot of, I guess you would call it, acts of omission and acts of commission. Gavin Newsom is not concerned with the effect of what his policies about fire prevention, which are basically green policy to let things burn in a natural society. So we've had horrific forest fires. We've had the Pacific Palisades fire where nothing has been rebuilt. Nothing. They wiped out the Pacific Palisades neighborhood. These fires did due to human culpability. And apparently their larger agenda is to drive out these wealthy people, not let them rebuild their single family wealthy homes and put more dense living for, I guess, the underserved. But the next thing to remember is that we have the highest out migration. About 300,000 people a year leave California, and we know who they are. They're the upper middle class, professional class, and the very wealthy, especially with the new billionaire tax that's envisioned that the legislature will foist upon us. Then we have the acts of overt commission. Think about it. We have three ways to get from the south of the state to the north: the 101, the 99, and the federal I-5. None of them have 3 lanes in each direction unimpeded. They all have either 2 lanes for vast expanses like the I-5 or parts of 101, or they have bottlenecks as in the 99. And so the 99 freeway is the most dangerous highway driven per mile in the United States. The American Trucking Association tries to avoid it. We also have 70,000 licenses that were issued to people who had no English comprehension, and many of them were here illegally. And now Gavin Newsom is fighting the Department of Transportation's efforts to decertify those licenses. And you put it all together and you ask what Gavin Newsom is going to run on. And the answer is he's not going to run on any of it because it's a disaster. So what is his strategy? His strategy is no one hates Donald Trump and the MAGA movement more than I do. And so what does that mean? That means he goes to his social media team and he says in the most vulgar way, I want to smash his mouth. He goes to the security conference overseas, tells the Europeans you have knee pads as if you performed a sex act on Donald Trump. He says to Kristi Noem, the former Secretary of Transportation, you're going to have a bad day, which many people felt was a direct threat. We've had a crusading young 23-year-old journalist who's exposed the Somali fraud, which may be the biggest in our history. It could approach $9 billion of stolen state and federal funds. Now he's in Los Angeles and he's looking at all sorts of fraud, from hospice care to autism to just general welfare and entitlement programs that don't exist, but funnel money to Democratic constituencies who in turn support Democratic candidates. And what's Gavin Newsom? Did he praise Mr. Story? Did he say Shirley? Did he say, Nick, Shirley, you're doing a great job. We come to California and we can find out? No. He did the crudest thing possible. He sent out a social media message implying from the photograph and the caption that this young man was a pedophile, that he was looking for young kids to sexually molest. That was the implication. That's who is now governor right now. He has never had a private job that he got on his own. He was a creation of the Getty family and his own well-connected parents. He's been in office for 30 years, and he's overseen all of these disastrous programs. High-speed rail, it was originally forecast at $40 billion. We're going to very soon get up to $40 billion, and we will not have 1 inch of track laid. We will never, probably ever, have a high-speed rail beyond Bakersfield to Merced, which will lose money every year, and yet we keep pouring billions into it while these critical freeways are neglected. We have a green agenda, and yet the Monterey battery storage plant, which is essential to capture solar-generated electricity for nighttime use, has blown up twice. We had a big $2 billion solar plant in the Mojave Desert. It's being dismantled. It's inefficient and it's harmful to wildlife. It's been dismantled. What could save us? We have about the fifth highest of the 50 states reserves in gas and oil. What's Gavin Newsom doing? He's fighting the federal government that wishes us to expand oil production. Where does California get their gas? Well, they get it from oil, but where does the oil come from? The oil comes mostly from Saudi Arabia and it's imported, and the gas has to be imported, our special blend from Japan. He's driven out 2 refineries, and we will see this year, I should say this summer, gas at somewhere between $7 and $9 a gallon. And one thing we know about Gavin Newsom, will he take credit for that, responsibility for that? Will he say this is what happened and be accurately descriptive and honest? And there's no way in the world. He will blame whom? Donald Trump and the Iran war. That's who wants to be the president of the United States, and that's who wants to do for the United States what he did for California. Beware. Thank you very much. This is Victor Davis Hanson for the Daily Signal.
Oil is burning in the Baltic region, but it's not because Putin has finally pulled the trigger and started a war with the Baltic states. No, it's Ukraine that has just struck again, and its target was a key Russian port in the Baltic Sea that Putin needs to keep the oil money flowing in. That port has been annihilated, and Putin now has to deal with Russia losing something that it can never replace. Overnight on March 23rd, Ukraine unleashed more of its drones against Russia. That alone may not seem newsworthy. Ukraine's long-range strategy is long established, so yet another strike should come as no surprise. But this attack was different. Ukraine's target on March 23rd was Primorsk, which is in the Leningrad Oblast and is home to the Transneft oil terminal, which is one of the most important oil export hubs in the Russian Federation. Primorsk allows Putin to ship his illicit oil via Russia's shadow fleet to buyers all over the world, and Ukraine just flung something so powerful at that port that it has forced a shutdown that could last for days, if not weeks. We'll get into the weapon that Ukraine likely used in this latest attack in a few minutes. First, there are the results. In its latest strike against Russia's energy and oil export infrastructure, Ukraine has targeted fuel storage tanks throughout the port that were being used to store oil products intended for shipment to other countries by Russia. There are two stories here, what Russia says Ukraine did and what satellite photos from the Primorsk port are showing us. Russia hasn't tried to lie its way out of being hit, at least. According to the Astra Telegram channel, the Leningrad Oblast governor Alexander Drozdenko has reported that Ukraine's drones have indeed struck a fuel storage tank at Primorsk. Another, Drozdenko claims, was destroyed by air defenses, though it still caused some damage. One of the drones crashed, damaging a power line pole near the village of Yemilovo. In the Vyborg district, firefighters are extinguishing the dry grass in the field where the drone crashed. Efforts to repel the attack are ongoing, the regional governor declared. Well done, Drozdenko, we guess. You managed to avoid using the ridiculous drone debris excuse that Russia so often leans upon when Ukraine's drones strike their targets, though you couldn't quite escape the excuse entirely. A crashed drone at least isn't a claim that debris from a drone caused a raging fire, so you at least have that going for you. But one fuel storage tank. Mr. Drozdenko, you appear to have forgotten the fact that satellite photographs exist, and they reveal far more about what has happened in Primorsk than you would like the world to know. Those photos, which are shared by the Euromaidan Press X account, show that it isn't just one tank that Ukraine destroyed. At least 4 have gone up in flames as a result of Ukraine's strike, and as the fires still rage in Primorsk, there is always the possibility that more could be set aflame. The satellite photographs reveal that Primorsk's fuel storage tanks are set out in banks of 2. One of those banks is completely destroyed, indicating 2 tanks are down. In 2 other banks, we see 1 storage tank each on fire. Plus, the smoke from those fires obscures the view of the other banks in the photograph, which could mean that 5 or 6 tanks have been taken out. This is a huge loss for Russia, and Ukraine's strike was big enough to force personnel evacuations and the shutdown of a port that is critical to Putin's efforts to use the shadow fleet to keep billions of dollars of oil money flowing into Moscow. But before we dig deeper into that, we told you that the strike on Primorsk was different from most of Ukraine's other strikes because of the weapon that Ukraine used. We can see that from the fact that Ukraine has hit Primorsk before. Back in September 2025, Ukraine launched a drone strike at the very same port that it hit on March 23rd. The strike had an impact. It was part of a 221 drone onslaught that Ukraine delivered to multiple Russian regions, and it caused fires to break out on both a vessel docked at Primorsk and at a pumping station in the oil export hub. However, for as impressive as those results may have been, they don't compare to 4 massive fuel storage tanks being sent up in flames. That tells us that Ukraine didn't use standard long-range drones for its latest Primorsk attack. It used something different, a weapon that has been called a drone-missile hybrid, and that has been giving Ukraine the ability to not only strike deep into Russian territory, but to strike harder than it ever has before. That weapon is the Flamingo. And according to the Telegraph, the considerably more explosive results that we've seen on March 23rd indicate that Ukraine has used some sort of missile against Primorsk, rather than drones. The Flamingo is the front runner, and it's easy to see why. The Flamingo is everything that Ukraine's deep strike strategy has been missing over the last couple of years. With a range of 3,000 kilometers, or about 1,860 miles, and a warhead that packs a devastating 1,150 kilogram, or just over 2,530 pound explosive punch, the Flamingo can easily deliver 10 times more of the firepower that a standard long-range drone can deliver. The drone missile hybrid is built in Ukraine, and it offers an alternative to the Western-made Storm Shadow and ATACMS missiles that Ukraine has used in the past, which are limited both in their range and in the fact that Ukraine often has to seek permission from the missile makers before the strike. No such problems exist for the Flamingo. And the fact that the facility that Ukraine just hit is around 1,000 kilometers, or around 621 miles from the border that Ukraine shares with Russia, tells us that Ukraine had to have used a weapon that combines range with severe firepower. The Flamingo is the frontrunner, as Ukraine appears to have turned Primorsk pink before it set the port ablaze. In a few minutes, we're going to explain why Ukraine chose Primorsk as its latest target. But before we do, you likely know enough about Ukraine's long-range strikes at this point to guess that Primorsk isn't the only target that has been hit. And that was the case on March 23rd too, as more of Russia's oil infrastructure ended up burning up under the weight of Ukraine's drone strikes. The General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces said as much in a Telegram post, where it also confirmed Ukraine's attack on Primorsk. The Bashneft Ufa-Neftekhim oil refinery was also hit. A fire on the territory of the enterprise has been confirmed. The Bashneft Ufa-Neftekhim oil refinery is an important link in the supply of fuel of the Russian Armed Forces, the General Staff reported. That refinery is in Ufa, which is part of the Republic of Bashkortostan. It's about 1,400 kilometers, or almost 870 miles away from Ukraine. Was the Flamingo used in this strike too? If it was, the General Staff isn't saying anything, and it hasn't revealed which weapon it used to strike Primorsk. What the General Staff did point out is that the Ufa refinery is responsible for processing between 6 and 8 million tons of crude oil per year, which it refines into usable products, including fuel and lubricants, which can then be used by the Russian military inside Ukraine. If you take out the refineries, you destroy the liquid lifeblood of the Russian war machine. And as you'll find out if you stick with us, that isn't the only type of lifeblood that Ukraine has sapped from Russia with its latest round of drone strikes. There's also one more attack to cover. Adding to all of this, the Telegraph reports that Ukraine completed a strike at the Ust-Luga export hub, which is another major piece of Russia's oil infrastructure. As with the Primorsk hub, operations were suspended at Ust-Luga in the wake of the attack, which caused a fire at a facility that is reported to handle around 700,000 barrels of oil every day. Exports have restarted at that Baltic Sea port, Reuters reported on March 23rd. However, the same can't be said at Primorsk, as Ukraine has delivered a powerful blow not just to Russia's Baltic Sea presence, but to the shadow fleet that has been key to keeping the Kremlin's coffers filled with dirty oil-stained money, as Putin pushes the Ukraine invasion even deeper into its 5th year. What Ukraine has just achieved is the showcasing of one of the largest, though perhaps underestimated, vulnerabilities in the entire Russian war machine. The Baltic region is bigger for Putin than even he would like to admit, and we'll tell you why in just a moment. But before we do, this is a quick side note to remind you that you are watching The Military Show. There's a lot more where this came from, so hit subscribe if you're getting value from our channel. First up, there's why Primorsk matters to Russia's presence in the Baltic Sea and the money that flows into the Kremlin's coffers. As Euromaidan Press points out, Primorsk is a key node in Russia's oil export network in the Baltic Sea, as it handles about 60 million tons of crude oil every single year. According to the Independent Petroleum Association of America, a metric ton of foreign crude oil, which Russia's oil certainly is, amounts to 6.99 barrels. Multiply that by 60 million, and you get 419.4 million barrels of oil shipping out of Primorsk every single year. That number is going to become important later when we do a few more sums, but for now, it's enough to know that Ukraine has just taken a port that contributes billions of dollars to Putin's war coffers offline, perhaps for days, if not weeks. And the fact that Ukraine struck oil storage tanks was smart too, as it means that oil is burning as Primorsk is shut down, costing Russia even more money. Primorsk is central to Russia's entire military, as it handles the storage, refining, and transportation of fuel that is used by Putin's soldiers in Ukraine. But perhaps even more importantly than that, Primorsk is a hub for the shadow fleet of ships that Putin has built up to help Russia skirt the sanctions that Ukraine's allies have levied against Russian oil in the wake of Putin's invasion. That fleet is massive, though its secretive nature makes it difficult to get concrete numbers on how large it is and what sort of dollar figures are involved in terms of its creation and the amount of money that it generates for Russia. According to Sky News, there are up to 800 vessels in the shadow, many of which are aging oil tankers that should have been taken off the water years ago, but are being kept afloat despite being worn out and poorly maintained, also that Russia can continue selling its oil. Ukrainian shipping magazine said in mid-2025 that Russia had spent $14 billion on its shadow fleet up to that point, though the number is likely several billion dollars higher now, as there is no indication that Russia has stopped buying vessels. As for the return on that investment, Geopolitical Monitor reports that Russia managed to make about $9.4 billion of additional revenue from its shadow fleet in 2024 alone. If we assume a similar return for the other years the shadow fleet has been operational, then it has paid back what the Kremlin has invested several times over. The same outlet reports that the shadow fleet now accounts for about 89% of Russia's crude oil exports, along with 70% of the seaborne oil that Russia sells. The shadow fleet now appears to be bigger than Russia's official fleet of oil tankers, and Primorsk is one of the key hubs of this entire shady operation. Every day that the shadow fleet isn't able to do what Putin designed it to do is a massive blow to him. That's according to Raivo Vara, who is an economics expert who explains just how important Primorsk and Ust-Luga are to Russia's shadow fleet. He explains that more than 60% of Russia's oil is exported from these two ports alone, and he estimates that the tankers that head into Primorsk have capacities of around 120,000 tons. With that sheer size, each of these tankers can transport between $50 and $60 million of oil. So every day that they spend being delayed in the Baltic region is a day longer before that oil money reaches Russia and can be taxed by the Kremlin. That's per ship, by the way. There may end up being dozens of delays caused by the Primorsk shutdown. That will only have a negative impact on Russia as Putin attempts to push forward with a spring offensive that is off to such a disastrous start in Ukraine that it's already led to Russia suffering the highest number of casualties that it's experienced in a single day so far in 2026. Less money flows in, less money is spent on the offensive, even more Russian soldiers die. It's a pretty simple logic to follow, and on top of that, there is a possibility that Ukraine's Primorsk strike could cause issues for the other, even shadier things the Shadow Fleet is accused of doing in the Baltic Sea. As the number of Shadow Fleet vessels sailing those waters has risen, so too have reports of fires and damage to undersea communications and energy infrastructure that lies under the Baltic waves. Russia's Shadow Fleet is a threat not just because of how it keeps oil money pumping into Russia, but also in terms of the direct impact it has on the security of nations that share the Baltic waters, many of which are NATO members. And all of this is without even mentioning how Russia's deployment of decrepit tankers to ship oil could have disastrous environmental effects. It only takes one of these 120,000-ton capacity tankers to spring a leak to cause an ecological storm in the Baltic Sea. Ukraine attacking Primorsk could be a way for the country to make one of Russia's most important Baltic Sea ports too hot to handle. Putin knows now that Ukraine can hit Primorsk. Not just that, it can hit Primorsk with weapons that have enough firepower to devastate the port's infrastructure. If those hits keep coming, is Russia going to risk continuing to use Primorsk as its oil export hub? It might. That would just mean more oil burning. But if Russia pulls out, it loses the security threat that it has created in the Baltic Sea via the Shadow Fleet, which could be just as damaging to Putin's ambitions. The Baltic Sea was supposed to be a place where Putin could project power, but in an ironic twist, it has just been exposed as one of Russia's greatest vulnerabilities. For as much as we see Russia trying to cause chaos in the Baltic region through its hybrid attacks against the likes of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, there is always a method to this type of madness. The Kremlin wants controlled chaos in the Baltic region, through which it can project the power we just mentioned. When Ukraine goes and does something like unleashing powerful missiles and drones or missile-drone hybrids against a key Russian Baltic Sea port, the control disappears, and only the chaos remains. Putin can't afford that. Russia's military posturing in the Baltic Sea can only go so far before it gets a NATO response, and it's been towing the line well up to this point. That's how the Shadow Fleet has managed to remain so active in these waters. Now, and as it has so often done in its war with Russia, Ukraine is trying to push Putin into decisions that he doesn't want to make. Russian assets in the Baltic Sea are becoming targets, and this exposes how reliant Russia is on this particular waterway. That's the vulnerability, and again it all comes down to cold hard cash. Shadow Fleet included, Russia generates about $100 billion per year from its exports that travel through the Baltic Sea and onto other countries. That's according to a June 2025 report by Ukraine World, which adds that as many as 100 tankers move through the Baltic waters every month, take Russian oil to Putin's buyers. The Baltic Sea is so important to Russia that the revenue generated through exports via that waterway alone rivals the military aid provided to Ukraine by Western nations. Granted, not all of that money goes straight to the Kremlin, but it is taxed by Russia, and that adds up to many billions of dollars per year that can be used to fund the Ukraine war. Earlier we mentioned that we'd be doing a few more sums based on the capacity of the Primorsk oil terminal. These figures highlight just how much of an economic lifeline the port is for Russia as it wages war against Ukraine. Since the US launched Operation Epic Fury against Iran, the price of a barrel of oil has shot up, often reaching and exceeding $100 per barrel. That's brilliant news for Putin. Russia has survived by offering its dirty oil at a steep discount against the standard price of crude, so a higher price means more money, even with the discount applied. According to Euronews, Russia was offering a discount of about $25 per barrel as recently as December 2025. If we assume that same discount being applied now that oil is hitting the $100 per barrel region, that gives us an approximate figure of $75 per barrel for Russia's oil. Now remember that Euromaidan Press also says that Primorsk processes about 60 million tons of crude oil annually, which amounts to 419.4 million barrels. Assuming the discount figure we just mentioned, in a situation where oil prices don't come down substantially, as may happen if the US prolongs Operation Epic Fury, that will mean that Primorsk alone is responsible for pumping over $31.4 billion into Russia's economy this year. That situation can't be allowed to stand. Ukraine knows it, and that's why it's hit Primorsk. This port is somewhat irreplaceable to Putin, both in terms of Baltic Sea power projection and the sheer amount of money that it generates for the invasion. For Ukraine, taking out this port now means less money for Putin later. It also serves as a reminder that the Ukraine war is still very much being fought, even as much of the world's attention has been diverted to what the US is doing in Iran. As drones, most likely Flamingo missile drone hybrids, hit Primorsk, Ukraine keeps itself on the international agenda. Meanwhile, Putin watches something that he can't replace get snatched away from Russia. And Primorsk isn't the only irreplaceable thing that Putin has lost during the last few days. Before the Primorsk strike, Ukraine's drones took aim at a key base used by Russia's elite unmanned aerial vehicle specialists Rubicon. That base is now gone.
Clock hands parked to a Bravo hour. I wear your funk like a second shower. Couch still hold your leaning ghost. The backbeat drives where I miss most. Elevator voice says floor 2, but I hear you say I not do. Even the mirror won't reflect what UV road is connect. The island extends, you didn't leave. In rhythms drawn from old receipts. The front don't lie, but it distorts and leaves me locked in have some chords. Hollow tone receipt, you fought the Mac with roof too slow to hit just right. The register hum but never rang. Now I rehearse what didn't hang. You faded out and funks repeat. Still found under incomplete. Shelf, I swore you danced there by yourself. The ghetto screams and falsetto light. I let it cry, don't make it right. Closet door swings with clavinet swing. Still tuned to what you didn't dream. Even the walls play like a band, but none recall where you would stand. There was a night I closed the door, certain I was right for sure. Every word I said that day felt too strong to take away. Pride was sitting in my chair like it had a right to stay. So I left without a pause and walked away. Time can change the shape of blame, memory can shift a frame. What felt certain back then feels thin. This delayed apology came too late from me. Understanding took its time, years behind the line. I replay the scene sometimes, hear the tone between the lines. Simple blatant on your side, while my voice was full of pride. Looking back it seems so plain, what I failed to recognize. Truth was standing in the room before my eyes. Certain moments freeze in place, waiting years for us to face what we could not see. Then this delayed apology came too late from me. Understanding took its time, years behind the line. I would speak with quieter hands, leave the door a little wide, let the anger step aside. But the past is written now, still the lesson stays with me. Every word I say today moves carefully. Some regrets refuse to fade, but they help the man we make, step by step and line by line through time. It's time, years behind the line. Dashboard glowing soft and steady, highway lines begin to slide. Radio between two stations, quiet static in the ride. Passing diners, empty parking, fluorescent circles on the ground. Windows open to leaving, carrying your city sound. Traffic lights turn slow to green, engines breathing through the lane. Something steady in the motion, like a low familiar chain. Late night city drive, rolling through the quiet streets. Every turn and every signal moves the rhythm through the seat. Late night city drive, nothing rushing where we roam. Oh, just the road and distant headlights, leading slowly toward home. Gas station under pale lighting, someone counted folded bills. Old sedan beside the corner, engine humming soft and still. Roach calls drifting from the speakers, new loose and easy in the air. Driver tapping quiet patterns with a finger on the wheel. Signals changing at the crossroads. Night wind sliding through the bass. Every mile becomes a marker for the moments that we pass. Late night city drive, rolling through the quiet streets. Every turn and every signal. Ooh's the rhythm through the seat. Late night city drive, nothing rushing where we roam. Just the road and distant headlights lead us slowly toward home. Shadows near the river, freight train groaning far away. Billboards blinking over rooftops, watching traffic fade to gray. Someone walking past a storefront, holding music in their stride. Repeats the pattern like a post beneath the drive. Streetlights drawing lines of amber, guiding every turn we take. Every mile keeps a rhythm at the quiet roads away. Bartender leaning on the counter, glass rings fading in the wood. Two old men debating baseball like the season never stood. Dog keeps breathing winter air, coats are hanging by the wall. Someone laughing near the jukebox like they never left at all. Clock says nearly past midnight. Nobody stands up to leave. Every table holding something people still refuse to say. Last whiskey before closing, let it sit a little while. Let the room keep talking softly, let the night stretch out a mile. Last whiskey before closing, hold the glass and take it slow. Every story in the building has another round to go. Rose chord floating near the ceiling, bassline rolling through the floor. Old bartender nods politely like he's heard it all before. Someone staring at a photo in a wallet worn and thin. Someone humming half a chorus, they forgot the middle end. Outside taxis pass the corner, inside time begins to bend. One more memory on the counter, one more story for a friend. Last whiskey before closing. Let it sit a little while. Let the room keep talking softly. Let the night stretch out a mile. Last whiskey before closing. Hold the glass and take it slow. Every story in the building has another round to go. Chairs go turning on the tables, door sun flipping to the dark, street light falling through the window, painting shadows on the bar. Bartenders staking quiet glasses, counting bills beneath the light. Someone walking down the sidewalk, carrying the rest of night. He's a turning in the doorway, footsteps fading down the street, but the room still holds the echoes of the voices. And late and last whiskey before closing. Let it sit a little while. Let the room keep talking softly. Let the night stitch out a mile. Last whiskey before closing. Hold the glass and take it slow. Every story in the building has another round to go. You stay like a pulse, I stopped counting, still repeating under breath. Every time I tried to quiet it, it adjusted to my steps. Your voice was barely a direction, more like pressure in a line. I followed just to realize it never stayed in time. There's a pattern in the distance that refuses to align. Every time I think I catch it, it redraws a different line. You remain like a thin post trace, running through what I became. Not enough to take control, still enough to shift the frame. Every thought moves slightly off, even when I hold it straight. Like a signal just miswritten, always slightly out of place. You felt like something nearly stable, but it never held its form. Like a balance always tilting, still pretending to be known. Time moves forward without asking, but you settle in between. Like a mark I never noticed, still affecting everything. There's a shift I can't ignore now, even when I let it pass. Every step I take around it feels connected to the last. You remain like a faint post trace, never gone and never clear. Not enough to bring you back, still too present not to hear. Every feeling leans a fraction toward a place I can't define. Like a line that keeps on drifting just outside of every line. I don't fight of every line. Follow what it means now, or decide what it became. Some things never ask for answers, some don't need a man. You're not something I can measure, not a loss I understand. Just a trace that keeps on running through the structure of my hands. the quiet in the movement that I never chose to keep. Still it settles in the rhythm of the way I think and breathe. Oh, you remain like a dead post trace, even now without a frame. Not enough to disappear, still too present to erase. Every ending leaves emotion, even after it is done. Like a line that keeps on shifting, even when it's over. Ah, that's over. Morning wind pushing through the avenue, old shoes tapping on the wooden floor. Dusty jukebox murmuring low and slow, bar stool spinning near the corner door. Loose corns dancing in the denim scene, bus brakes sighing down the crooked lane. Someone whistling half a crooked tune, the city waking with the sideways grin. Step by step, the pavement toes back, every shadow leaning to the beat. Nothing fancy in the afternoon, just the shuffle of wandering feet. Let it roll through the bones tonight, keep the groove in a steady line. Life keeps knocking with a crooked grin, just ride the rhythm and take your time. Barbara humming by the open door, clippers buzzing like a tiny train. Wind flips pages of a paperback, stories drifting down the block again. Loose gravel under heavy boots, taxi horns fading down the street. Someone laughing near the corner store, every heartbeat finding its seat. Step by step, the pavement talks back, every shadow leaning to the beat. Nothing fancy in the afternoon, just the shuffle of wandering feet. Let it roll through the bones tonight, keep the groove in a steady line. Life keeps knocking with a crooked bend, just ride the rhythm and take your time. Street light, street lamp buzzing over quiet steps, old men playing domino again. Bottle caps standing on the curb, wind rolling softly through the lane. Jacket collar lifted to the dust, radio murmuring somewhere beat. Every day a slow parade of sound, rhythm walking where the sidewalks sleep. Talks back, shadow leaning to the beat. Nothing fancy in the afternoon, just the shuffle of wandering feet. Let it roll through the bones tonight, keep the groove in a steady line. Life keeps knocking with a crooked grin, just ride the rhythm and take yours. Prairie road cutting past the field, Wooden sign barely nailed and sealed. An old chair resting by the door. Boot marks scattered on the floor. Small radio balanced on a crate. Speaker humming soft and straight. Two men watching trucks go by. Nothing much to justify. A distant station drifting near. Carried thin but loud and clear. Simple rhythm passing through. Across the view. Let that prairie station speak. Rolling slow all through the week. Boot heels tapping on the ground. Keeping time with that sound. Pick up, park beside the shade. One loose tire slowly swayed. Someone humming half a phrase from forgotten radio days. Fence wire shaking in the breeze. Dust sliding through the trees. Every note the speaker sends moves slow around the bend. That small groove walking through. Nothing fancy, nothing new. Just a signal running wide. Countryside. Let that prairie station speak. Rolling slow all through the week. Boot heels tapping on the ground. Keeping time with that sound. Stretching down the lane, long freight calling down the plain. Storefront light beginning glow, people standing talking low. Cricket starting up their line, someone checking pocket time. Radio still humming through one last tune. That same program drifting far. Past the fields and past the bar, little coach returning slow from the show. Let that prairie station speak. Rolling slow all through the week. Boot heels tapping on the ground. Keeping time with that sound. Cork glowing under city light. Rubber echoes through the night. Loose hoodie, sneakers squeak. Everybody talking slick. Ball spills once across the lane. Quick step cutting through the frame. Hands up, fake left turn. Watch the whole block learn. Crowd leaning to the side, waiting for the glide. One move, quick twist. Nothing but the wrist. Neon basketball. Watch the shadow fall. Neon basketball. Hear the people call. Bounce once, slide through. Someone yelling, that was smooth. Fast, break down the paint. Every move a little faint. Laughter breaking through the air. Friends leaning on the rail.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Donald J.
Nothing
Trump.
but the net piece. Whole court holding breath, right before the switch. One arm in the night. Neon basketball. Watch the show.
thank you very much, everybody. It's a great honor to have you at this beautiful house. It's a beautiful house. There's no other house like it. I've seen them all, believe me, and this one is tops. But I'm thrilled to welcome all of you to the South Lawn for the single largest gathering of American farmers that the White House has ever seen, has ever had. And rain or shine, and you don't mind rain, shine. The one thing about farmers, they don't care about that weather. They get out there, it makes no difference. But rain or shine, no one has more grit or greater spirit than the American farmer. We love the American farmer. I just gave you $12 billion. I don't know if you know that or not. You make enough money, it doesn't matter to you, right? But we just provided $12 billion, right, Brett, for the American farmer. You think Biden would have done that? No, he wouldn't have done that. We're delighted to be joined by Secretary of Agriculture, who's doing a fantastic job, Brooke Rollins. Brooke, thank you very much. Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Robert, Bobby. EPA Administrator is doing such an incredible job. He's getting those costs down for you, and he's always protecting the environment, but he does it quickly. A real superstar, Lee Zeldin. Thank you, Lee. Great job. And someone everyone loves, and they love in particular the job she's doing, Small Business Administrator Kelly Loeffler. Kelly, thank you very much. Thanks as well to John Hoeven, Joni Ernst, Pete Ricketts, along with the chairman of the House Agricultural Committee, G.T. Thompson. And I tell you, they're fantastic people. That they are warriors. And representatives, Jim Baird, Randy Feenstra, Monica De La Cruz, Brad Finstadt, Michelle Fishback, Mark Messmer, Victoria Spartz, Frank Lucas, Tracy Mann, Zach Nunn, Adrian Smith, and Derek Van Orden. They're all out here. They want your votes desperately, desperately. They're only here for your vote, you know that. But they're here because actually they did a great job. Those were people that were the most, I would say, the most aggressive for the farmer, which is what we want. Other than me, they were right in there. I was more aggressive than any of them. But also with us is the CEO of Tractor Supply, Hal Lawton, who will soon open the company's 2,500th store in honor of America's 250th. Hal, thank you very much. It was great to meet you at the Oval Office 2 minutes ago. I also want to thank the president of the American Farm Bureau Federation, Zippy Duval. I've known Zippy for a long time. Zippy's been with me right from the beginning, right, Zippy? From day one, he liked Trump. He said, well, I don't know, but I just had a good meeting with him. I'm gonna go with Trump, right? That was in 2015. And very special thanks to the proud young parents of two beloved American institutions, Future Farmers of America and 4-H. Two great things. For 4 disastrous years before I took office, sleepy Joe Biden and the Democrats in Congress crushed America's farmers with the worst inflation in the history of our country. Prices were going through the roof. So bad, it was so bad what they had done to our country, and by the way, in so many other ways too, borders and everything else. But they crippled the American agriculture industry with brutal restrictions and failed to negotiate even a single new trade deal on your behalf. Not one trade deal was negotiated on your behalf during the Biden administration, and we happen to be the exact opposite. We have so many trade deals, we don't know what the hell to do with them. We need more lawyers. But now the American farmers, ranchers, growers, and producers once again have a true friend and champion in the Oval Office. And in my first year back in the White House, farm income has soared by 20% very quickly. I repealed the Biden EPA's ridiculous water restrictions. You had water restrictions that gave you everything but water. Yet it needed a little water. They wouldn't give you it. It was crazy. To keep federal bureaucrats off your land and out of your pockets, it's Big deal. With the help of Republicans in Congress, we passed the largest tax cuts in American history. Already 45% of filers have taken advantage of our new tax provisions with an average refund so far of almost $5,000, a record. In fact, we passed them and people are just starting to see how important they are. It's amazing what's happened. The numbers are, they're reporting that it's much more money than I thought. I tell you, I call it the great big beautiful bill. Is a great big beautiful bill, and it's especially in terms of your tax refunds and your taxes, because it's the lowest tax we pay. It's the biggest tax reduction in the history of our country. It's also the biggest regulation reduction in the history of our country, which as farmers, you know what that means. It means a lot of good things. We made the small business tax deduction permanent, benefiting 98% of America's farmers and ranchers. And thanks to bonus depreciation, farmers can now deduct 100% of the cost of new tractors and all equipment in the first year. In other words, you buy a tractor, you deduct the whole price. Normally it goes over a 38-year period. This is slightly better. You got these tiny little deductions that weren't even worth it. Now you can do it at one time. Only Trump could have gotten you that one. That was a big thing. And in the first term, you know, we had the greatest economy in the history of our country in the first term. We are blowing them away right now. And by the way, we're doing really well in Iran, just so you understand. You know, I mean, how good is our military? How good is our military? Very importantly, we saved 2 million American farms from extinction by virtually ending the unfair estate tax. We've ended the estate tax, or as they call it, the death tax, and you can now keep your family farms in the family. We had a problem. See, these are all people that are clapping that love their children. If they didn't love their children, they wouldn't care about what I just said. But most of you, does anybody not love your child? Because that would be the one person that would have clapped the other way. No, it's a big thing. I would see farmers, and they pass away. They love their life. They love it. There's something about a farmer, maybe more than anybody else. They love that. They love the soil, and they love their farms. And they'd pass away, and they'd have wonderful children, and the children would get hit with this massive tax bill for the value of the farm. Sometimes the farm is very valuable, but the cash isn't so readily available. And they'd go out to a bank and they'd borrow money, and they'd borrow and borrow and borrow to pay the tax. They'd be working for 20 years to pay it off. If they had a bad season, they'd lose their farm. We lost it many, many times. And you'd have actually many, many suicides over it. They would actually commit suicide because they couldn't stand the concept of losing their family farm. And I ended the death tax, or the estate tax, on family farms and small businesses. So I think you're appreciative of that. It was a terrible thing. It's too bad that so many people in the past couldn't have taken advantage of it, because it would have made a lot of happy people out of people that really have had a miserable life. When they lose their farm, they're never the same. They're never the same. And I hope our farmers never forget that every single Democrat in Congress voted against all of the provisions I just mentioned, including the estate tax. And Republicans, all of these Republicans have stood strong and fought hard and gotten it. But the Democrats voted against every single provision that I just mentioned, including the tax reductions and including, frankly, the estate tax. But we delivered. The Republicans delivered for the farmers, and it was not easy because the opposition to farmers by Democrats is very strong. Thanks to our trade deals, you're now sending over $40 billion in American soybeans to China. I want to thank President Xi of China, because we had a deal at 20, and I said, could you do me a favor? It's a big place. Could you double it? And he said, what are you talking about? I said, could you make it 40 instead of 20? And he overrode all of his people. He said, all right, I'll do it. And you got 40 instead of 20. So now you go out and buy bigger tractors. What can I tell you? Remember when that was announced, everybody was surprised? Everybody thought it was going to be 20. He was very good. But the American soybeans are now being shipped to China in record amounts, and we expanded markets for American beef, dairy products, biofuels across Asia, Europe, South America, like we've never had before. Our farmers and agricultural producers do not want handouts. They really don't. The farmers come to my office a lot, and they just, sir, please just give us a level playing field. Others want more than that. They want everything. The farmers want a level playing field, and I talk about it all the time. That's all they want, because you were just the last 4 years before this one, before our great first year. We had records in so many categories, but during the past administration, you were treated really badly, and you were treated badly by the world because you had nobody that cared about defending you. But you want that fair shot and a level playing field, and I'm giving that to you, and I think I'm actually giving you much better than a level playing field. I'm giving you a field that goes like this. Makes it a lot easier for you, the things that we've done. And to further help farmers recovering from the Biden catastrophe, we use money taken from tariffs. The tariffs, we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars from the tariffs. And as I said, we gave you $12 billion in farm relief. And that happened just recently because you were hurt by certain countries unfairly. And I said you were unfairly hurt, and we gave you $12 billion, and that made up for it. I'm also asking Congress to quickly pass the new farm bill, and today I'm promising to request additional farm relief for our great patriots in the next funding bill. So we have you taken care of in both instances, and we're pushing very hard for the new farm bill. The Democrats fight us. I don't know the Democrats fight us on farm bills, and they always have. They are not your natural politician. Any farmer that votes for a Democrat is crazy. They are brutal on the farmers. One of the Americans benefiting from our policies and new market access is Joel Vyrek, a fourth-generation farmer from Woolwich Township, New Jersey. Joel, he really has a great story to tell. Please, Joel, come up and tell that story.
I just want to say thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity to speak today and for having this event and inviting us all here. Yeah, I'm a vegetable farmer from Woolwich Township, New Jersey. We farm a few hundred acres where we specialize in Jersey fresh tomatoes. I do that along with my family. Also, I guess most importantly today, as you spoke about the farm bill, I just urge Congress to pass a farm bill. It's vital to everything that we do. Everything from financing to crop insurance, and it's vital to the USDA and the farm credit system. Also, we appreciate the bridge payments, your policy on trade, everything. It's going to help strengthen what we do. So I just want to thank you again for just everything you're doing to make America great again.
You know, while I'm up here, I'm looking around. I love construction. You see all those nice Caterpillars and John Deeres. We have a lot of John Deeres. That's a big dig. And we're building a ballroom. For 150 years, they've wanted, every president said, could we have a ballroom, please? A room where you could have a lot of people. So when the president of China, France, when somebody comes over from the UK, including the king, we have the king coming over very shortly, and King Charles. So we can have like a large room, because the White House is incredible, but it never had a ballroom. And we're building, that'll be the finest ballroom anywhere in the world when it's completed. And I'm just looking at the construction. In fact, if you don't mind, I'll walk over there and look for a little while. Then I'll come back and I'll continue to speak. I love construction. I love building beautiful things. But you're going to have something really tremendously. And thank you, Joel. And every day we're looking for new ways to support our farmers, reduce your costs, and to help lower the price of food for the American family. Last month, we issued a major new rule declaring that farmers have a right to repair your own equipment. Can you believe that one? And that action will save the typical farmer up to $30,000 on major repairs. I mean, I heard about this. I said, you got to be kidding. You don't have the right to fix. These guys can fix anything, but you didn't have the right to fix your own equipment. We ended that rather quickly, and now you do. And I did another thing, and I'll explain it in a second, because we had a ridiculous Washington restriction called the so-called diesel exhaust fluid requirement. Do you know about that? It was a basic disaster. Today, we're announcing new guidelines drastically limiting these ridiculous DEF rules, saving farmers and consumers billions and billions of dollars. And when I was in Iowa recently, I met a man who was the chairman of John Deere, great company. And I asked him, I said, could I ask you a question? We cut a lot of the restrictions, almost all of them, on cars. What have we done for tractors and trucks and different things that you use on the farms? He said, sir, they never got to us. They never did that. I said, well, we're going to have to, that was about 2 months ago. We've worked very hard, and Lee is working on that. It's a top priority. I told him, Lee Zeldin, a top priority. So when you buy a tractor today, you spend 50% of your time fixing the environmental impact statement garbage that's on the tractor. In fact, I buy a lot of things that having to do with farm equipment, where I own clubs and other things. And I said, give me 10-year-old equipment. Do you have any 10-year-old equipment that hasn't been used yet? And whenever they had it, I would buy it, because it was much better than the new stuff, which has so much environmental nonsense on it that it ends up costing thousands of dollars more to produce, and it doesn't work well. Too complicated. And then you'll get somebody that is a farm worker, and he's looking at heavy computerized environmental equipment, and you have where the tractor will turn off if the environmental equipment isn't working. It was an automatic turn off. It did absolutely nothing for the environment. It cost you $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a machine. And to save fuel, many of you are working over massive deposits of fuel. To save a quarter of a glass of fuel, this much, just a little bit, they'll have 2 extra computers in it that never worked. And I said to the head of John Deere, is this a good thing or a bad thing? He said, sir, you have no idea how bad it is. It's made our tractors so complicated. You need a major degree from MIT in order to turn on a tractor. We want to go back to the old way, sir. And I said, I agree with you 100%. And we are working very hard and very quickly to get rid of the horrible chains placed on tractor suppliers. That's a beautiful tractor. That's a gold tractor. Somebody had me in mind. What's that all about? That's a hell of a tractor. I'm looking at this. That's a good one, too, red, white, and blue, but somebody really hit me with that one. That's beautiful. Well, but so we are going to be, Lee, I think we can say, I know you're in the process, cutting out massive amounts of nonsense that are mandated to be put on your tractors and all of your trucks that costs you a fortune. And I know that they're going to do this, and I asked him, you got to promise me one thing. You're not going to take it in profits. You're going to lower the cost of a tractor. I want you to lower the cost, and if they don't lower the cost, you'll let me know, and I'll have to do a big number in those companies, okay? Because they're going to be able to very shortly produce a bigger, better tractor at substantially less money. It's going to be better. It's going to be a better tractor at substantially less money. It's going to be more reliable. It's not going to be turning off every 15 seconds because a computer went haywire that you don't need. You're going to have a better tractor for less money, but I want John Deere and Case and all of their great companies, Caterpillar. I want all of them. Got a lot of Caterpillars in there all over the place. I look forward to seeing them later. But I want these companies to give it to you in the form of lower tractor and equipment costs. And I think it's going to have a huge impact. And Lee, when you do this, I really want you to mandate to the companies to sell the equipment cheaper, not to get the same price and make a spread of, could be $6,000 or $7,000 a machine. So we'll work on that together, okay? Thank you very much, everybody. I think it's going to be a great thing. We're working on it very hard. So Americans love our farmers, and to make it easier for consumers to choose products raised by ranchers like Michael, we recently announced a brand new food label It's product of the USA. I love that. Product of the USA. We have another one called Made in the USA. That's better for a car. I like U.S. product for the USA. I hadn't heard that, but it's good. They want the USA product. When Americans see those words in grocery stores, they'll know that it was raised, harvested, and processed by the greatest farmers and ranchers anywhere on the face of the earth. You are the greatest. Nobody even close. Just like we have the greatest military, we have the greatest, most powerful military in the world by far. We have the greatest farmers also. Thanks. And thanks to your hard work and incredible productivity, we're slashing the prices of key staples for American families. The cost of cheese, butter, potatoes, and fruit, many, many other products is lower today than when I took office. Eggs are down, as an example, 60% from when I took office. And we have others coming down, and beef is starting to come down. Beef was an amazing thing. I was told by Brooke, I said, I don't really believe it. They wanted to have less cattle in the country for environmental reasons. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what that means? Can you believe it? Who would think of this? These are sick people. No, they want less cattle for environmental reasons. It has something to do with gas permeating throughout the air. And and that's what happened. And the number of cattle was way down. I said, what happened? They were mandated, they were restricted for that reason. These people are crazy. But anyway, we got rid of that one too. That was an easy one. If I said this 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, people wouldn't even believe what I'm saying. It's like men playing in women's sports. Would you believe we have an argument over that? Men playing in women's sports. Did you ever see the weightlifting record? It stood for 19 years. Women, great women athletes, they got up there. And then a man came along who happened to transition, and the record was broken by 119 pounds. And he was a bad weightlifter. It's true. He was a failed male weightlifter. He shattered the record. I would say that's not good. So we are bringing all that back to normalcy too. And look what happened at the Olympics. The Olympic Committee, the heads of the Olympics just announced there will be no men playing in women's sports. Who else could have done that? You think that was easy? That wasn't easy. That was not easy. It's probably, they say it's an 80-20. No, I think it's a 99-1 issue, and nobody can find the one. To help lower gasoline prices for farmers and consumers, this week I issued an emergency order to allow immediate sales of E15 and just as I promised in the campaign, I'm seeking congressional action to allow E15 all year round, okay? And I'm trusting Speaker Johnson and Leader Thune, they're two good men. I'm trusting them to find a deal that works for farmers, consumers, and refiners, including small and mid-sized refiners. And they're going to send me a bill, and we should be able to get that done. We've worked with the refiners before, and we're going to get that done. Today, I'm also announcing a dramatic update to the renewable fuel standards for 2026 and 2027. A big problem, what they've done to you is, and the country, what they've done to the country is just incredible. The environmentalists, they are terrorists. They were terrorists. I call them the environmental terrorists, and will now be requiring the highest volumes of renewable fuels in history. These new standards will generate over $10 billion of rural economic benefit, create an estimated 100,000 new jobs, and massively increase our nation's energy supply. It'll come right out of the farms. In addition, to help bring down grocery costs even more, today I'm pleased to announce that the Small Business Administration, that's Kelly, is opening up massive new loan guarantees for farmers and food suppliers, including vegetable farmers, grain farmers, and seed farmers, cattle, pig, and poultry producers, grocery wholesalers, and many more. So if you're in the industry, Kelly, you better get ready. You're going to be inundated, right? It's the first time that's happened. And you know, when they say she's the head of small business, when you add it all up, it's got to be the biggest, it's like the biggest bank in the world or something. It's nothing small about it. But you'll do a job, Kelly, right? Help them out, right? From Texas to Kansas, from Iowa to Idaho, and from Minnesota. Did I hear Minnesota? How is Minnesota doing? What's going on? What's going on in Minnesota with that crazy governor, that crooked, corrupt governor? How about the Attorney General? Do you think he's a dirty cop? You think he's a dirty cop? All right, we'll get Minnesota back. We'll take it back from Somalia. Now, do you believe these people come from Somalia? They have nothing. It's not. They come. Somalia is considered the worst country. It's not even a country, like the worst country in the world. The worst. They come over here, and they steal $19 billion. We'll get it straightened out. It's happening. Our vice president is in charge of a new division. It's called the Fraud Division. You know, if we straighten out half the fraud that took place in this country over the years, we'd have not only a balanced budget, we'd have a big surplus. So we're going to get it done. We're going to get it done. But from Minnesota to Mississippi, we're lifting up our hardworking farmers and ranchers and growers, and we're putting more money in American pockets. We're going to prove that the golden age of American agriculture is right here and right now. And I want to ask, just if you would you come up and say something? Because I'll tell you what, come on over here. This is a great farmer. Would you just tell your quick story, please?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Michael Cliver, and I operate my family's ranch in Westfield, Pennsylvania, Doble Circle D Farms. And the work that you guys have done, it's unexplainable how big it is for the American farmer and the next generation that don't have to headache and don't have to worry about the death tax. It's astounding what you guys have done. It's absolutely spectacular. And also the working family tax cut policies, that allowed us to get my daughter a Trump account, and we can teach her fiscal responsibility, compound interest, and investment, and plan for her future. And it's just absolutely astounding what you have done with that. Also, your energy policies. Up in Potter and Tioga County, Pennsylvania, the gas companies are leasing mineral rights again actively, and that's putting money back into the farmers' pockets up there too. So for all that, I applaud you and thank you, Mr. President.
I'm glad I called him up. I didn't know who the hell he was. He's standing up. You know, he's standing. We went through one, and I said, there's another guy, but they don't have anything about. But you did it. It's an extremely good job you did, huh? Wow. Thank you very much. I do want to say, do you mind if I step over here and just look at that tractor for a second? Because I assume it's a gift to me. That's crazy. It's beautiful. Oh, that is really something. Thank you very much for the gift. I appreciate it. Oh, boy. Can you imagine if I accepted that gift, what they would do? A Democrat can accept. We're not allowed to accept. No, but that's a beautiful machine. We make the greatest machines. That's a beautiful, beautiful machine. I'd like to ask a very special woman to step up. You know, Brooke, I always said, could run any company in the world. She could run these big companies. She's a great executive. And we've talked about it. My wife's actually said, you know, Brooke could be an executive anywhere. That doesn't mean you're leaving, okay? No. But when I had a chance, I said, what about Department of Agriculture? I had no idea that she has like a PhD in agriculture. She went to school on agriculture. I would have put her there even if she didn't. But she's so highly trained, and she loves it, and she loves the farmers just like I do, and ranchers and everybody else having to do with this very special world that you live in. And Brooke has really been a star, and I want to thank you very much and say a few words.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. Sir, the first thing I want to say is when we had that unexpected conversation about this job, November 21st of 2024, I've often said that sometimes you have plans for yourself, but then God and Donald Trump redirect your plan. 1 year in, I can't tell you the honor, the joy, the blessing of getting to fight every day. There is no better job than this. Even President, I believe, there is no better job than being your 33rd Secretary of Agriculture. And Mr. President, thank you for your trust. It's just incredible. Not in our lifetime. The President and I on our walk over here, we're talking about how the farmers, the ranchers, rural America, we are your people, sir. From the moment he came down the golden escalator to today, no one has stood more proudly, more strongly, more courageously for this man, this transformational president at this moment in our country's history than you all, our farmers and ranchers. I want everyone to get to their feet and just thank him for what he has done for our community, for our farmers and ranchers. He's the best, the best. Yeah. Never cry in trouble, but yeah, I'm so grateful. So grateful. A couple of other really special people. I know we have some friends in from Pennsylvania. We have some amazing Amish farmers. And I started thinking, I maybe shouldn't do this because I don't think they like the recognition, but they drove all the way here. If they're willing to stand up, let us thank you for making such an effort and your wonderful support for our president. I was told that even a new dress was made for this event, and I know this is out of the box a little bit for you and your amazing community, but I know on behalf of our Pennsylvanians and others, we're so grateful for you and your leadership. I also want to do a big shout out to Senator Hoeven, Senator Ernst, our congressman, Senator Ricketts, who fought so hard to get rural America in the one big, beautiful bill. You all deserve so much credit. It was the largest investment in rural America for our farmers and ranchers in American history. This man drove it, but you guys executed, and we're so grateful to you. So thank you. Thank you. Also, very quickly, my mom is on the front row. State legislator Helen Kerwin, thanks to Donald Trump, is doing remarkable work for us in Texas. My beautiful sister. We talked about, Mr. President, the future of farming with a faith born not of words but of deeds. You have the FFAers and the 4-Hers here. We're so glad you are our future, and we are so grateful. Thank you. And speaking of the FFA, sir, my ag teacher from 35 years ago came all the way from Glen Rose, Texas. Mr. Rosenbush, stand up. I love you. There were a few times he put me in the back of the bus for being too sassy, and we've come a long way, Mr. Rosenbush. God bless you, and thank you for everything you mean. Listen, everyone, the president did it so well. What we inherited when we came in just over a year ago, we left with an agricultural trade surplus when we walked out of here in January of 2021. We came back with an agricultural trade deficit of $50 billion. Not one new trade deal under the Biden administration. When we left, the cost of inputs were 40% less for our farmers and ranchers than when we came back 4 years later. We inherited a mess, but this president understands that there is no more American of the Americans than our farmers and ranchers and the pioneering spirit that you all represent. And today on the South Lawn of the White House, to have the largest gathering of farmers in American history at this White House is historical. It will go down in the record books. I believe this president will be remembered as the president and our administration with Bobby, with Lee, and with Kelly, who are all here, my best friends from the cabinet, across the cabinet, as the moment in American history where we reversed the trend, where we stopped losing family farms, where we fought for rural America because it is the very, very best of who we are. And that began with this president, with his leadership, and we just couldn't be more grateful. God bless you, Donald Trump. God bless America, and God bless our farmers and ranchers. Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
So the Farm Bill is going to happen. It's all going to happen. And I just want to thank you all for being here. You're very, very special people. I'll never forget, we won like such a number, like nobody's ever won before. You voted for me. I will never forget that. I'll never forget the friendship, the great friendship that we've had. And we've got a lot more to do, Brooke, and we're going to do it, and we're going to get it done very fast, very, very, very fast. And thank you all for being at the White House. Thank you very much. Bye.
Off the blast, midnight neon paints the overpass, vending light on the corner spin. I forget where you end, I begin. Everything lows, but moves so slow. Your voice still plays through a payphone low. Plastic air with a static hum. I keep riding till the echoes come. Float on tone you left behind. Voices blur like vintage signs. Dreams don't end, they just rewind. Platform breeze in a denim blur. Your coat swung wide like a whispered slur. Guitar lick fade through a rooftop vent. What you meant or what you never meant. Glass door clicks with the motor drone. I wait in place where I stand alone. Chip tile holds the groove in place. Time moves smooth without a face. Ticking glows but moves so slow. Your voice still plays through a payphone low. Plastic air with a static hum. I keep riding till the echoes come. You left behind. Voices good like vintage signs. Dreams don't end, they just rewind. That stray rain on the balcony rail. You left, came back like a dusty trail. Clavinet blinks to a faded scene where the city breathes in tangerine. No shadow walks through a swing or home. Still on beat, but the meanings know my scene. Too soft for the glass to break. Still it shakes in the steps I fade. Everything goes but moves so slow. Your voice still plays through a payphone note. Plastic air with a static hum. I keep riding till the echoes come. In the South Side Transit line, I float on tone you left behind. Voicing good like vintage signs. Dreams don't end, they just rewind. Too late, I'm tired on a marble stay. I move like I know you're there. A metro map in a fogged up grip. Still one stop short of your fingertip. Bars, coil rings in a velvet queue. But the words dissolve before that few. Ride still loops through the closing night. And I hum your name in traffic light. Everything knows but moves. Gravy bowl lean and spoon playing leaves. Dipping that soul like a daily creed. Soup with a slap, rice got range, and a scratch at the bottom when the flavors change. This ain't fine dining, it's better than that. It's kitchen Walked out like I had theme music. Didn't. But the sidewalk acted like I did. So I leaned into it. One guy blinked too slow. I gave him a thumbs up just in case. Wine tried to pull my hat. Jokes on the wind, it wasn't mine. Whole vibe talking sideways. I just nodded once, didn't wait for applause, took a bow anyway. Laugh, walk, repeat, no questions, just bounce. Snap when the air feels right, spin when nobody asks. Laugh, walk, repeat, no questions, just bounce. Snap when the air feels right, spin when nobody asks. Might have waved at a stranger, could have been a mirror. Either way, we both look good doing it. Some kid said, what's your job? Told him making sidewalks feel special. He didn't get it, but the beat did. Left foot went first, right one made a joke, whole thing was off, which made it perfect. Laugh, walk, repeat, no questions, just bounce. Snap when the air feels right, spin when nobody asks. Laugh, walk, repeat, no questions, just bounce. Snap when the air feels right, spin when nobody asks. Time tried to trip me, but I moonwalked out of it. Not smooth, but better than planned. Even shadows started copying me, I charged them rent. This groove came free with a smile. Didn't match the beat, just flirted with it. Some moves don't need names, this was one of those. Laugh, walk, repeat. If it works, don't fix it. Skip the serious part, double down on the bounce. The world had meetings, I had better shoes. Not expensive, just lucky. A woman winked, might have been to the music. I took credit, shared it with the breeze. Nothing heavy here, just rhythm and sunglasses. I brought the strut, left the rules. Laugh, walk, repeat, the sun gets it. No plan, no pause, just one more lap around, cool. Drums tap steady with a playful beat. Brass curl softly, making it complete. Crowd sway loosely in a carefree spin. Letting the city's groove pull you in. Street lights flicker in a mellow dance, calling each heart to take the chance. Groovescape Boulevard, feel the vibe tonight. Smooth melody flowing in the neon light. Let the music guide you down every lane. Step into the sound of this groovescape train. Oh, oh, oh. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. Ooh, strings hum warmly in the evening glow. Notes drip softly as the night moves slow. Bassline walking in a velvet stream. Keys slide gently through a golden dream. Every step matches the mellow flow, guiding me where the smooth tones go. Warm strings groove rapping through the night. Soft vibrations under amber light. Let the rhythm cradle you in its smooth flow with the charm of that warm strings groove. Oh, drums tap lightly with a tender hand. Brass notes curling like a gentle band. Crowd sways softly in a lazy trance. Every little moment feels like a dance. Every step matches the mellow flow, guiding me where the smooth tones go. Warm strings groove rapping through the night. Soft vibrations under amber light. Let the rhythm cradle you in its smooth flow with the charm of that warm strings groove. Oh. Uptown streets buzzing with a lively sway. Brass and keys dancing in a bright array. Ooh, ooh. Feet hit the pavement with a payphone tune. City lights glowing under the silver moon. Yeah. Windows flicker as the rhythm flows, calling me out where the evening goes. Uptown funk sketch painting every night. Grooves come alive in the neon light. Let the melody the sparkling line. Crowds glide easy in the fluid wave, filling every corner the music gave. Windows flicker as the rhythm flows, calling me out where the evening goes. Uptown funk sketch painted every night. Every night. Grooves come alive in the neon light. Neon light. Let the melody lift you in its stretch. Step into the vibe of that uptown funk sketch. Funk sketch, yeah. Neon lies and in a glowing stream, keys glide softly like a drifting dream. Bass walks steady with the low warm tone. Night starts breathing with the funk of its own. Street lights shimmer with a gentle sway, calling me closer as the rhythms play. Neon groove session lighting up the night. Smooth waves rolling under silver light. Let the beat unfold in the shining progression. Step into the sound of this neon groove session. Yeah. Neon groove session. Yeah. Neon groove session. Yeah. Neon groove session. Yeah. Drums tap lightly with a playful spark. Grass curls upward through the cooling dark. Crowds move loosely in the mellow spin, letting the city pull the motion in. Street lights shimmer with a gentle sway, calling me closer as the rhythms play. Neon groove session lighting up the night. Smooth waves rolling under silver light. Let the beat unfold in the shining progression. Step into the sound of this neon groove session. Yeah, 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 Easy morning groove in the afternoon light. Steps feel lighter when the rhythm's right. Brass rings softly from the distant door, calling out a vibe I can't ignore. Sun drops slow in a mellow spin, while the city lets the cool roll in. Sunday lounge strut, moving nice and clean. Smooth groove walking through a laid-back scene. Let the rhythm guide you with a gentle cut. Slide into the feel of that Sunday lounge strut. Sunday lounge strut. Bassline strolling in a one-tone glide. Keys Sunday lounge. Strut. Late night streets shaking with the gentle pulse. Kick drum steady with the smooth result. Line drifting in the lazy slide. City heat moving on the mellow side. Lights glow softly as the groove comes near. Pulling my steps into the atmosphere. Night funk hop rising in the dark. Rhythm jumping with a subtle spark. Let the motion lift you to the top. Tone. Brass lifts higher in the shining zone. Crowd sway loosely in the flowing swing. Night keeps humming with the vibe it brings. Lights glow softly as the groove comes near. Pulling my steps into the atmosphere. Night funk hop rising in the dark. Rhythm jumping with the subtle spark. Let the motion lift you to the top. Ride the flow of this late night funk hop. Late night funk hop rising in the dark. Rhythm jumping with the subtle spark. Let the motion lift you to the top. Ride the flow of this late night funk hop. Late night funk hop rising in the dark. Rhythm jumping with a subtle spark. Let the motion lift you to the top. Ride the flow of this late night funk hop. Late night funk hop rising in the dark. Rhythm jumping with a subtle spark. Let the motion lift you to the top. Ride the flow of this late night funk hop. Oh, chip. Corner lights glow with the mellow hue. Street side rhythm slipping into view. Keys play softly in a drifting slide. Pulling my senses on a gentle ride. Every quiet step syncs with the beat. walking with a velvet sway. Drums tap lightly in a playful way. Brass floats easy with a tender shine, filling all the space like a perfect line. Every quiet step syncs with the beat. Warm tones rising from the winding street. Smooth corner rhythm flowing through the night. Soft grooves blending with the pale street light. Let the moment breathe in a subtle spin, caught inside that smooth corner rhythm. Corner rhythm. City cruising slow on a glowing line. Headlights glide smooth while the streets unwind. Bass thumps gently in a rolling sway. Night wine humming like it wants to play. Signals on the road start to sink in time, calling out a groove with a mellow shine. Night drive funk taking hold tonight. Rhythm on the wheel, keep emotion tight. Let the street side pulse, bring a flowing spark, riding through the city in that night drive funk. Horn riffs drifting from a corner zone. Drums tap lively with a warm tone. Cool breeze sliding through the open air, pulling my steps forward to the music there. Signals on the road start to sink in time, calling out a groove with a mellow shine. Night drive funk, taking hold tonight, rhythm on the wheel, keep emotion tight, street side pulse, then flowing spark, riding through the city in that night drive funk. Yeah. Stepping on the block with a classic stride, brass lines shining with a golden pride. Rhythm from the past in a modern spin. Old school colors start to pull me in. Trumpets lift high in a lively tone. Groove keeps calling like it's carved in stone. Retro steps and brass in the midnight air. Let the horns punch through with a stylish flair. Move with the rhythm as the night goes fast. Caught in the charm of retro steps and brass. falling like it's carved in stone. Retro steps and brass in the midnight air. Let the horns punch through with the stylish flair. Move with the rhythm as the night goes fast. Caught in the charm of retro steps and brass. Retro steps and brass in the midnight air. Let the horns punch through with a stylish flair. Move with the rhythm as the night goes fast. Caught in the charm of retro steps and brass. Rolling down the lane with a steady beat. Echo of the city tapping at my feet. Guitar riff shimmer like a passing train. Pulling all the motion through my veins. Corners turn smooth in a rhythmic line. Everything around falling right in time. Motion Avenue groove, keep me on the move. Let the rhythm light the path I choose. Stepping through the night with a flow inside. Riding on that Motion Avenue groove, yeah. Drum kick pounding with a mellow clap. Crowd sway softly in a tight-knit net. Brass notes bouncing on an urban wall. Every little moment in the nighttime calm. Corners turn smooth in a rhythmic line. Everything around falling right in time. Motion Avenue groove, keep me on the move. Let the rhythm light the path I choose. Stepping through the night, yeah, with a flow inside. Riding on that Motion Avenue groove, yeah. Cool wind sliding down the avenue. City life humming with a subtle groove. Steps fall easy with the evening glow. Sax line dripping like a river flow. Skyscrapers shine with a gentle sway, calling me out to come and play. Urban breeze, jam, rolling through the night. Smooth rhythm, riding on the pale street light. Let the groove spin soft, let the moment expand. Feel the vibe inside this urban breeze jam. Urban breeze jam. Fog shadows dancing like a dream. Drums tap lightly on the midnight grind, turning each corner into soulful sound. Skyscrapers shine with a gentle sway, calling me out to come and play. Urban breeze, jam, rolling through the night. Smooth rhythm, riding on the pale street light. Let the groove spin soft, let the moment expand. Feel the vibe inside this urban breeze jam. Urban breeze jam. Jam. Urban breeze jam. Urban breeze, jam, rolling through the night. Smooth rhythm, riding on the pale street light. Let the groove spin soft, let the moment expand. Feel the vibe inside this urban breeze jam. Breeze jam. Jam. Breeze jam. Stepping out into the quiet night. City hum low, but the groove feels right. Heartbeats sync with the drifting air. Rhythm pulling me like it's everywhere. Shadow on the pavement moves with me, oohs with me. Baseline rising like electricity. Midnight groove, flow, taking control. Let the rhythm slide deep in your soul. Moving through the night, so slow. Ride the wave, let the music roll. Street lamps glowing with the gentle sway. Feet keep tapping like they know softly as the night unfolds. Every little note in a story told. Shadows moving with a steady sway, pulling me deeper where the grooves play. Midnight fusion drive taking me along. Smooth melodies riding on the city song. Let the rhythm lift you, let the night arrive. Step into the flow of this midnight fusion drive. Fusion drive, yeah, yeah. Drums tap lightly with a playful beat. Brass girls softly in the evening heat. Crowds glide easy in a mellow trance. Every little sound gives the night a chance, yeah. Shadows moving with a steady sway, yeah. Pulling me deeper where the grooves play. Midnight fusion drive taking me along. Smooth melody riding on the city song. Let the rhythm lift you, let the night arrive. Step into the flow of this midnight fusion drive. Fusion drive. Hey, fusion drive. Fusion drive. Fusion drive. Sketching the rhythm on the avenue. Baseline walking in the midnight hue. Keys and brass curling with a gentle sway. Every little note guiding the way. Street light shimmer in a mellow glow. Calling my steps where the grooves all go. Rhythm sketch avenue, painting through the night. Smooth melody flowing in the neon light. Let the sound move you as you ride. Step inside the pulse of this rhythm. Sketch Avenue. Sketch Avenue. Drums tap lightly with a steady roll. Guitar slides soft, filling every soul. Crowds drift easy with a subtle spin. Night keeps humming as the groove pulls in. Yeah. Street light shimmer in a mellow glow. Calling my steps where the grooves all go. Rhythm sketch avenue, painting through the night. Smooth melodies flowing in the neon light. Let the sound move you as you ride. Step inside the pulse of this rhythm. Sketch Avenue. Soft whispers in the evening air. Bassline strolling with a silky flare. Keys glide gently, painting mellow tones. Drums tap lightly on the cobblestones. Yeah. City hums low in a subtle sway, pulling me deeper where the grooves play. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Soft brass funk vibe flowing through the night. Smooth melodies dancing in the neon light. Let the rhythm carry you. Ooh, when it's time, step into the warmth of this soft brass funk vibe. Soft brass funk vibe. Hey. Crowds move easy in a lazy spin. Every note curling like a secret grin. Brass and keys entwine in gentle play, guiding the pulse of the city sway. City hums low in a subtle sway, pulling me deeper where the grooves play. Soft brass funk vibe, soft brass funk vibe. Smooth melodies, dancing smooth melodies. Let the rhythm carry you. Ooh, when it's time, step into the warmth of this soft brass funk vibe. Boulevard stretching under evening skies. Bassline rolling where the rhythm lies. Keys shimmer softly with a golden glow. Footsteps moving with a gentle flow. Street lights flicker in a mellow dance, calling each heart to take the chance. Groovescape Boulevard, feel the vibe tonight. Smooth melodies flowing in the neon light. Let the music guide you down every lane. Step into the sound of this groovescape train. Yeah. Drums tap steady with a playful beat. Brass curl softly, making it complete. Crowd sway loosely in a carefree spin, letting the city's groove pull you in. Street lights flicker in a mellow dance, calling each heart to take the chance. Groovescape Boulevard, feel the vibe tonight. Smooth melody flowing in the neon light. Let the music guide you down every lane. Step into the sound of this groovescape train. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. Ooh, ooh, oh, 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 oh. as the night moves slow. Baseline walking in a velvet stream. Keys slide gently through a golden dream. Every step matches the mellow flow, guiding me where the smooth tones go. Warm strings groove rapping through the night. Soft vibrations under amber light. Let the rhythm cradle you in its mood. Flow with the charm of that warm strings groove. Oh, drums tap lightly with a tender hand. Brass notes curling like a gentle band. Crowd sways softly in a lazy trance. Every little moment feels like a dance. Every step matches the mellow flow, guiding me where the smooth tones go. Warm strings groove rapping through the night. Soft vibrations under amber light. Let the rhythm cradle you in its mood. Flow with the charm of that warm strings groove. Oh. Uptown streets buzzing with a lively sway. Brass and keys dancing in a bright array. Ooh, ooh. Feet hit the pavement with a payphone tune. City lights glowing under the silver moon. Yeah. Windows flicker as the rhythm flows, calling me out where the evening goes. Uptown funk sketch painting every night. Every night. Grooves come alive in the neon light. Neon light. Let the melody lift you in its stride. Step into the vibe of that uptown funk sketch. Funk sketch. Drums roll steady in a crisp design. Guitar snap sharp with a sparkling line. Crowds glide easy in a fluid wave, filling every corner the music gave. Windows flicker as the rhythm flows, calling me out where the evening goes. Uptown funk sketch painted every night. Every night. Grooves come alive in the neon light. Neon light. Let the melody lift you in its stride. Step into the vibe of that uptown funk sketch. Funk sketch. Neon lies and in a glowing stream. Keys glide softly like a drifting dream. Bass walks steady with the gentle sway, calling me closer as the rhythms play. Neon groove session lighting up the night, smooth waves rolling under silver light. Let the beat unfold in the shining progression. Step into the sound of this neon groove session. Neon groove session. Neon groove session. Neon groove session. Drums tap lightly with a playful spark. Brass curls upward through the cooling dark. Crowds move loosely in the mellow spin, letting the city pull the motion in. Street lights shimmer with a gentle sway, calling me closer as the rhythms play. Neon groove session lighting up the night. Smooth waves rolling under silver light. Let the beat unfold in the shining progression. Step into the sound of this neon groove session. Yeah, 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 Easy morning groove in the afternoon light. Steps feel lighter when the rhythm's right. Brass rings softly from a distant door, calling out a vibe I can't ignore. Sun drops slow in a mellow spin, while the city lets the cool roll in. Sunday lounge strut, moving nice and clean. Smooth groove walking through a laid-back scene. Let the rhythm guide you with a gentle cut. Slide into the feel of that Sunday lounge strut. Sunday lounge strut. Baseline strolling in a one-tone glide. Keys flow gently like a calm street tide. People move easy with a carefree swing, letting all the quiet notes softly ring. Sun drops slow in a mellow spin, while the city lets the cool roll in. Yeah. Sunday lounge strut, moving nice and clean. Smooth groove walking through a laid-back scene. Let the rhythm guide you with a gentle cut. Slide into the feel. Oh, that Sunday lounge. Sunday lounge strut. 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 Sunday lounge. in the shining zone. Crowds sway loosely in the flowing swing. Night keeps humming with the vibe it brings. Lights glow softly as the groove comes near, pulling my steps into the atmosphere. Late night funk, hot, rising in the dark. Rhythm jumping with the subtle spark. Let the motion lift you to the top. Ride the flow of this late night funk hop. Late night funk hop, rising in the dark. Rhythm jumping with the subtle spark. Let the motion lift you to the top. Ride the flow of this late night funk hop.
Attention, the gold is reaching 50% on daily chart.
Night funk hop, rising in the dark. Rhythm jumping with a subtle spark. Let the motion lift you to the top. Ride the flow of this late night funk hop. Late night funk hop, rising in the dark. Rhythm jumping with a subtle spark. Let the motion lift you to the top. Ride the flow of this late night funk hop.
Whoa, chip.
Corner lights glow with the mellow hue. Street side rhythm slipping into view. Keys play softly in a drifting slide, pulling my senses on a gentle ride. Every quiet step syncs with the beat. Warm tones rising from the winding street. Smooth corner rhythm flowing through the night. Soft grooves blending with the pale street light. Let the moment breathe in a subtle spin. Caught inside that smooth corner rhythm. Baseline walking with a velvet sway. Drums tap lightly in a playful way. Brass floats easy with a tender shine, filling all the space like a perfect line. Every quiet step syncs with the beat. Warm tones rising from the winding street. Smooth corner rhythm flowing through the night. Soft grooves blending with the pale street light. Let the moment breathe in a subtle spin. Caught inside that smooth corner rhythm. Corner rhythm. while the streets unwind. Bass thumps gently in a rolling sway. Night wine humming like it wants to play. Signals on the road start to sink in time, calling out a groove with a mellow shine. Night drive funk, taking hold tonight. Rhythm on the wheel, keep emotion tight. Let the street side pulse, bring a flowing spark, riding through the city in that night drive funk. Horn riffs drifting from a corner zone. Drums tap lively with a warm tone. Cool breeze sliding through the open air, pulling my steps forward to the music there. Signals on the road start to sink in time, calling out a groove with a mellow shine. Night drive funk, taking hold tonight. Rhythm on the wheel, keep emotion tight. Street side pulse, then flowing spark, riding through the city in that night drive funk. Yeah. Stepping on the block with the classic stride, brass line shining with a golden pride. Rhythm from the past in a modern spin. Old school colors start to pull me in. Trumpets lift high in a lively tone. Groove keeps calling like it's carved in stone. Retro steps and brass in the midnight air. Let the horns punch through with the stylish flair. Move with the rhythm as the night goes fast. Caught in the charm of retro steps and brass. Guitar snaps tight in a funky roll. Drums hit smooth with a steady control. Yeah. Crowd slides sideways with the groove and flow. Lights dance softly as the moments grow. Trumpets lift high in a lively tone. Groove keeps calling like it's carved in stone. Retro steps and brass in the midnight air. Let the horns punch through with the stylish flair. Move with the rhythm as the night goes fast. Caught in the charm of retro steps and brass. Retro steps and brass in the midnight air. Let the horns punch through with a stylish flair. Move with the rhythm as the night goes fast. Caught in the charm of retro steps and brass. my feet. Guitar riff shimmer like a passing train, pulling all the motion through my veins. Corners turn smooth in a riveting line. Everything around falling right in time. Motion Avenue groove, keep me on the move. Let the rhythm light the path I choose. Stepping through the night with a flow inside. Riding on that Motion Avenue groove. Yeah. Drum kick pounding with a mellow clap. Crowd sway softly in a tight-knit net. Brass notes bouncing on an urban wall. Every little moment in the nighttime calm. Corners turn smooth in a rhythmic line. Everything around falling right in time. Motion Avenue groove, keep me on the move. Let the rhythm light the path I choose. Stepping through the night, yeah, with a flow inside. Riding on that Motion Avenue groove. Yeah. Cool wind sliding down the avenue. City life humming with a subtle groove. Steps fall easy with the evening glow. Sax line dripping like a river flow. Skyscrapers shine with a gentle sway, calling me out to come and play. Urban breeze, jam, rolling through the night. Smooth rhythm, riding on the pale street light. Let the groove spin soft, let the moment expand. Feel the vibe inside this urban breeze jam. Urban breeze jam. Urban breeze jam. Car lights weaving in a mellow stream. Sidewalk shadows dancing like a dream. Drums tap lightly on the midnight grind, turning each corner into soulful sound. Skyscrapers shine with a gentle sway, calling me out to come and play. Urban breeze, jam, rolling through the night. Smooth rhythm, riding on the pale street light. Let the groove spin soft, let the moment expand. Feel the vibe inside this urban breeze jam. Urban breeze jam. Stepping out into the quiet night. City hum low, but the groove feels right. Heartbeat sync with the drifting air. Rhythm pulling me like it's everywhere. Shadow on the pavement moves with me, moves with me. Baseline rising like electricity. Midnight groove, flow, taking control. Let the rhythm slide deep in your soul. Moving through the night, so slow. Ride the wave, let the music roll. Street lamps glowing with the gentle sway. Feet keep tapping like they know the way. Sax lines whisper from a smoky bar, calling me closer from somewhere far. Shadow on the pavement moves with me, goes with me. Baseline rising like electricity. Midnight groove, flow, taking control. Let the rhythm slide deep in your soul. Moving through the night, so slow. Ride the wave, let the music roll. Midnight lights glowing on the open road. Baseline drifting in a velvet mode. Keys slide softly as the night unfolds. Every little note in a story told. Shadows moving with a steady sway, pulling me deeper where the grooves play. Midnight fusion drive taking me along. Smooth melodies riding on the city song. Let the rhythm lift you, let the night arrive. Step into the flow of this midnight fusion drive. Fusion drive. Drums tap lightly with a playful beat. Brass girls softly in the evening heat. Crowds glide easy in a mellow trance. Every little sound gives the night a chance. Yeah. Shadows moving with a steady sway, pulling me deeper where the grooves play. Midnight fusion drive taking me along. Smooth melody riding on the city song. Let the rhythm lift you, let the night arrive. Step into the flow of this midnight fusion. Fusion Drive. Fusion Drive. Hey, Fusion Drive. Fusion Drive. Sketching the rhythm on the avenue, baseline walking in the midnight hue, keys and brass curling with a gentle sway, every little note guiding the way. Street light shimmer in a mellow glow, calling my steps where the grooves all go. Painting through the night, smooth melodies flowing in the neon light. Let the sound move you as you ride. Step inside the pulse of this rhythm, Sketch Avenue. Sketch Avenue. Tap lightly with a steady roll, Guitar slides soft, filling every soul, Crowds drift easy with a subtle spin, Night keeps humming as the groove pulls in. Street light shimmer in a mellow glow, calling my steps where the grooves all go. Sketch Avenue, painting through the night, smooth melodies flowing in the neon light. Let the sound move you as you ride. Step inside the pulse of this rhythm, Sketch Avenue. Soft brass whispers in the evening air, bassline strolling with a silky flair. Keys glide gently, painting mellow tones. Drums tap lightly on the cobblestones. Yeah. City hums low in a subtle sway, pulling me deeper where the grooves play. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Soft brass funk vibe flowing through the night, smooth melodies dancing in the neon light. Let the rhythm carry you. Ooh, when it's time, step into the warmth of this crazy spin. Every note curling like a secret grin. Brass and keys entwined in gentle play, guiding the pulse of the city sway. City hums low in a subtle sway, pulling me deeper where the grooves play. Soft brass funk vibes, soft brass funk vibes, smooth melodies, dancing smooth melodies. Let the rhythm carry you. Ooh, when it's time, step into the warmth of this soft brass funk vibe. Boulevard stretching under evening skies, baseline rolling where the rhythm lies. Key shimmer softly with a golden glow, footsteps moving with a gentle flow. Streetlights flicker in a mellow dance, calling each heart to take the chance. Groovescape Boulevard, feel the vibe tonight. Smooth melodies flowing in the neon light. Let the music guide you down every lane. Step into the sound of this groovescape train. Yeah. Drums tap steady with a playful beat. Brass curl softly, making it complete. Crowd sway loosely in a carefree spin, letting the city's groove pull you in. Street lights flicker in a mellow dance, calling each heart to take the chance. Groovescape Boulevard, feel the vibe tonight. Smooth melody flowing in the neon light. Let the music guide you down every lane. Step into the sound of this groovescape train. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. Ooh. Strings hum warmly in the evening glow. Notes drift softly as the night moves slow. Bassline walking in a velvet stream. Keys slide gently through a golden dream. Every step matches the mellow flow, guiding me where the smooth tones go. Warm strings groove rapping through the night. Soft vibrations under amber light. Let the rhythm cradle you in its smooth flow with the charm of that warm strings groove. Oh, oh. Drums tap lightly with a tender hand. Brass, no